How many of you out there have ever seen or taken a photograph that you just couldn't quite take your eye off of? Something about it really worked for you, but you couldn't quite pinpoint why. There's an obvious discrepancy between the photos we take on our iPhones and a professionally taken photograph, but what makes them so different? My name is Nick. I've been interested in photographs and have been shooting my own for the past few years, and hope to shed some light onto what goes into taking a photograph with you guys today. I would like to preface myself in saying that I am in no way, shape, or form a professional. I simply have a deep interest in photo theory and hope to relay some basic principles onto you so that you too can implement them into your own life and hopefully improve your own pictures. There is no equation to creating a good photo. There are just, like I said, some principles or rules that you can follow to just help improve them. The two basic principles I'd like to talk to you today about are composition and lighting. Composition can be defined as the way in which something is put together or arranged, or in this case, the combination of elements that make up a photograph. According to Angela Belt in her book entitled The Elements of Photography, she says that a photo can be broken down into 7 basic elements. Those elements include line, shape, texture, pattern, color, space, and form. Although these words alone seem quite elementary, it's the combination and the usage of these all when taking a photograph that really can make it successful. It's how things balance in a photograph and how all these elements work together to create one piece of art. Todd Vornkamp at B&H Photo says that composition is the main aspect of photography that is 100% dependent on the efforts of the photographer. So another way of saying that is that you get out what you put in. The more effort that you put into composition, potentially the better that the photo can turn out. The more you think about how things work together or don't work together, the better the photo will in turn turn out. A common rule, or perhaps the most common rule used by photographers, is the rule of thirds. When implementing the rule of thirds in your own photography, you can picture any scene that you're looking at as a 9-square grid, kind of like a tic-tac-toe board, and basically you want to put your subject either on the lines of the grid or on the intersection of the lines to make the photograph more natural looking. It's a lot less distracting, and it is just a lot better to look at for the viewer. This is just one rule that can be followed, but it can really go a long way in making a successful photograph. So perhaps looking at a scenery with a tree and having the tree as your subject, it might look better caddied to the right with the complement on its left, or vice versa. It just really depends on the scene, but it's that extra step in thinking about what flows the best in the photograph that can really make the difference. As for lighting, I'm sure we have all been at a pretty sunset scene, or when the sun is going down and we want to take a photo and it looks very beautiful to our eye, but we take a picture of it and it's quite underexposed as a product. So that could be a faulty light meter, or perhaps your camera just isn't quite suitable for that. I use this example because just to exaggerate how key lighting is in photography. It is essentially the manipulation of lighting is photography. So when something is very underexposed, the photo is just unsuccessful, and all of the work that you put in to making a successful composition, as I stated before, it's for nothing because it's not exposed properly. It's very circumstantial, but the two basic types of lighting are front lighting and back lighting. The most common one is front lighting. It is used very often. It's just when the light is hitting your subject directly on. Right here, it's pretty flat and non-contrasty just because the lighting is hitting the majority of your subject. There's not a lot of shadows, and it's an easy way to go for beginners, and it's, like I said, creates a very flat. It's often used in portraiture and things like that. As for backlighting, it's quite the opposite. It's when the light source is on the back of your subject, and the most famous utilization of this is during the famous golden hour. Golden hour is either an hour after sunrise or an hour before sunset. So you can utilize backlighting during this time to create a glowing effect around you, kind of like a halo. These are very popular in photography and can really do a lot for your subject, a portrait, or even a landscape. So the next time that you go out to do a shoot or take a picture of anything, think about the lighting. Is it natural? Is it harsh? If I wait just a few minutes and the sun peeks behind a cloud, it might do a lot for your photograph. So having that in mind can really make or break a photo. So I have shed light on a couple things that go into making a good photograph. I have left out a lot, but I hope that these two can help out a lot. So when going out, just take that extra second to think about the composition, the different shapes that you see, the different colors, what works together, what doesn't, and just be just a little more aware of the surrounding and also the lighting, because shadows or lack thereof of shadows can really make or break a photo, as I said before. So, so the next time that you're put on spot to take a family photo, take these things into considerations, and you might just really impress your family. So, thank you.